At least.
Definitely don't chew that on the air.
Okay.
Boom, we're live.
Like, everybody feels like they have the right to tell me to get my shit together.
Right.
And at the end of the day, you know, I sit there and I humbly take it because
They're right.
yeah, they're right. But at the same time, you know how many motherfuckers there are in the world. You know what I mean? Like, so many people are into all types of crazy shit.
Yeah, but you can't compare yourself to the losers of the losers. I know what you're talking about.
You know what I
like,
mean?
You could
It's
say,
like,
hey, well, compared to dudes who like to go out and
who
fuck
knows?
goats, I'm fine.
Exactly. Who knows what
Yeah.
weird shit this guy's in?
Right.
And he's telling me to get my shit together. It's like,
Well,
just because my shit's publicly don't mean you're any better than I am.
That's true, but you know what? That conflict is never ending, and you can't get involved in it. Like
Right.
that conflict that you're starting up in your own brain right now, it's a rationalization conflict. You start rationalizing your behavior versus, well, a lot of other people do worse. Well,
Right.
that is a dead end.
Well,
That's a bad road that a lot of people go down to make themselves feel better.
Right.
The only thing that can make you feel better is to be pure or to
And
be
to actually
clean.
get
of
your
it.
shit together.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like if someone comes up to me and says, "Hey man, you've been ripping off old ladies and stealing money from the church," I'd be like, "What the fuck are you talking about? It doesn't make any sense. That's not true at all." So if someone says something to you that's rude, that's not true, it doesn't have any impact on you.
Right.
But when someone says something to you that's rude but true, then you have to rationalize. Then you
Right.
have to go, well, what about you, man? Well, what's going on with your life? Maybe you're into some dark shit, you know?
Right.
That's a bad road. And
Right.
it's a defensive road. And as a fighter, it's a natural instinct. Somebody hits you want to hit them back. You know?
Right.
Somebody attacks you, you won't, yeah, well, what about your weaknesses? And you
Right.
want to try to search them out. And I'm sure a lot of people go through that when they read social media and they see these anonymous eggs on Twitter saying mean shit to you.
Right.
You start thinking, oh, I want to know who this fucking guy is and what's going on in his fucking life. That is a trap, man. That's a
Yeah.
trap. You have a responsibility of greatness.
Yeah.
There's very few people that ever get to the position that you not just were in when you won the title, when you were the youngest ever UFC heavyweight or light heavyweight champion. Not just that, the youngest ever UFC champion. Not just that. There's also a responsibility that comes with potential.
Right.
It's not just like what you've done, and you know it's what you could have done.
Right.
You fought Alexander Gustafsson. Be honest about that. How much did you train for that fight?
I trained for the fight, but I definitely I had this thing where I just felt invincible, and I did a lot of wild stuff leading up to the fight. I definitely didn't give it my all.
As far as partying and not sleeping right,
Mainly
and
partying,
drinking,
drinking, staying up all night. I did it my whole career. I would go out and get hammered 1 week before every fight.
Have you ever worked with a sports psychologist?
No, marijuana actually is something that I don't think I want to go back to.
Really?
I don't think I want to go back to.
I'm thinking of sparking up a joint right now.
Go ahead.
I'm like,
Joe.
what are you saying?
I know it's probably hard for you to hear.
When you're dealing with the amount of stress and just the amount of pressure is probably a better word of being, you know, one of the great fighters of all time. I mean, you're without a doubt one of the best fighters that's ever fought in MMA. And there's so many eyes on you. And there's so much pressure, and there's so much money involved, and accolades, and all these different things. You know, hey John, we've got a business meeting for you. Hey John, this company wants to talk to you about doing this. And hey John, and there's just so much coming your way. Do you feel like it's almost like you had set yourself up in a position where you needed like some escape? You needed an escape valve, and that's what you had found through the drinking. That's what you had found through the pot. You had found these ways where you could not be John Jones for a while, where you could be this blacked out dude at a bar. All of a sudden you feel normal, you know,
Right.
as normal as you can feel by being a 20-whatever-year-old millionaire fucking throwing shots around in Albuquerque. You'd found a valve to release you from some of the intense pressure of being one of the baddest motherfuckers on the planet.
I agree with you. Yeah, absolutely. It definitely made you feel for those moments.
Take your hands away from me so you can
I'm sorry.
That's all right. So you're just blocking the microphone. It's
yeah, sorry
gonna
about
sound
that.
weird. How do you plan on handling that now? Because if you're not going to be drinking and you're not going to be smoking pot and you're going to, I mean, right now you're living life as just John Jones, the person, and happy with your family and happy with your life and just working out and having a good time doing jiu-jitsu and all that stuff. But eventually, everything's going to ramp back up again. Media obligations are going to ramp back up again. All these things are going to happen, and the pressure's going to be back on you again. What are you going to use as that escape valve then? Have you considered that?
No, I haven't really.
Oh,
No.
that's very
But
important.
I feel like I have matured in a way where I don't think it will affect me the way it used to. I've really had the opportunity to step away from it all, realize what I had and who I am, and what I was, and I just feel above.
What you used to be.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's the thing about growth, and that's one of the things that when people are haters, what they try to do is lock you down to the old you.
right,
They try to lock you down to you at your very worst. Yeah, man, you remember that shit in 2010?
right,
When you said that fucked up thing when you were blacked out? That's you, bro. And you're like,
Right.
I don't even remember that. I was blacked out.
right.
Like, what did I say? You tell me. And someone can, someone can believe that they are their past.
Yeah, but we're not.
No, you're you.
Yeah,
You're you. And if
In
you
the
have not had
present.
fuck ups, then you don't understand the consequences.
yeah,
I mean, you've had considerable amount of fuck ups and a lot more
Big
than
time.
the average person in a public sense. There's a lot of people that have done a lot of fucked up things, but no one knows about it.
Yeah.
And the repercussions they feel, it's not the same as yours. You feel the repercussions of first of all, millions of people that loved you that were disappointed, millions of people that were jealous of you. They're like, I fucking told you he was going to throw it all away. There's a lot of that, too.
Yeah,
a lot of people psyched that you fucked up.
it's far from throwing it all away. Sometimes I get people to write me and say things like, "Oh, you ruined a great career," or like like people have this mindset of that it's all over.
Yeah, I
And-
saw a lot of people saying that. People that I like said that.
and it's like,
And I was like, you're crazy.
You're an idiot.
You're crazy. He hasn't thrown it away.
I haven't thrown it away. Right now, there's a pause going on, but as far as it being all over or whatever, it's just so far from being true.
Do you follow boxing?
A little bit.
A little bit. Do you know Bernard Hopkins' story?
No.
Bernard Hopkins, one of the greatest boxers of all time for sure. Bernard Hopkins went to jail. And he decided when he went to jail, when he was a young man, he decided that from that point on, he was going to be disciplined. And that there's no more bullshit in his life. No more robbery or assault or any of the shit that got him into the position where he's in. And then he was going to dedicate his life to being a world champion boxer. And from that point on, he became one of the most disciplined boxers ever. Never ate bad food, never drank, never did anything stupid, always was in shape. And will go down in history as one of the all-time greats, guaranteed shoe-in Hall of Famer. And I feel like Bernard Hopkins was created by the darkest moment of him being arrested and him doing time in jail. And when he came out of that jail, one of the first things that one of the corrections officers said to him was, "You'll be back." And he used that as fuel. And he knew that, like, there's no fucking way I'm going to
that
look
guy
at that dude again. There's no way. There's no way he's right. There's no way. And ultimately, Bernard Hopkins escaped his demons by facing them, by being in hell. By being in hell. I think he was in jail for, I forget how many years, but just enough to cement in his eyes, to harden him to the fact that what he needed was discipline and control over his own destiny.
Yeah.
And I think that for a guy like you, you can take all those dark moments that you've experienced over this. And fuck, man, you think about it, man. You got away pretty light. That girl could have died. Horrible things could have happened while you were drunk driving when you slammed into that Bentley into the tree. All these terrible things could have gone wrong that you kind of got away with. If you wanted to think that someone's looking out for you, you've got all the evidence in the world that points to someone actually looking out for you.
Yeah. God's grace for sure.
Something out there, whether it's luck or whether it's intention or whether it's God or whatever the fuck it is, man. The bottom line is right now at this moment, you are still in your athletic prime. You're still only 6 months away from a suspension. When is your suspension?
About 8 months, yeah.
8 months away from a suspension being released. And I mean, this is all a great thing. How old are you now? You're 30?
29.
29?
Yeah.
When's your birthday?
July 19th.
So you'll be 30 when you come back.
I'll be
that's
29 still when I
it's
come
your
back.
fucking athletic prime.
Yeah.
That's at your best. Really, your prime is like 32. Do you meditate, John?
I used to meditate a lot. Now I'm more big into visualization.
When did you used to meditate?
Right around 2010, 2011, I went through this huge spiritual thing where I became obsessed with the power of the mind, and I got into it deep, like really deep, just meditation, visualization, and just realizing how powerful our minds actually are, like how we really do paint our world with our thoughts and our level of self-belief. And so right around 2010, I just took myself to this different mental level where I took myself from being an average Joe, kind of. You probably hate average Joe, huh?
Doesn't bother me.
Okay. I took myself. You're like, what's average about?
I'm so used to that name. It's such a goofy name. It's good. It's like a blank. It's like cardboard.
Yeah.
It's like there's nothing to it.
Yeah. So I took myself from being very average-minded to actually believing that I was the shit, and believing that I could be the shit, and that I could be the GOAT and be the greatest and never lose. Into, like, I took myself to a different place mentally, and a lot of it came from mental practice and meditation and visualization and just seeking knowledge from people who are strong believers, guys like Les Brown and Tony Robbins and guys like that. I just became really obsessed with just learning about the power of the mind. So I used to meditate. Now I just kind of, I have a lot of things that stuck with me, a lot of ways of believing that stuck with me that just subconsciously I know who I am, what I'm capable of, and how I believe, and how powerful my mind actually is.
I'm a firm believer in meditation because I believe that human beings can get caught up, especially someone involved in a very difficult endeavor like you are. You can get caught up in the momentum of your life, and sometimes it's very hard to reset. It's very hard to separate yourself from it and get a balanced and, as much as you can, objective perspective. And I think one of the best ways to do that is to take time where you sit and you close your eyes and you do nothing and just concentrate on your breathing and just set it all aside and extract yourself, extract your consciousness from the momentum of your life. And I think a lot of people don't do that, and they get caught up in this hurricane of existence,
Right.
where everything is just constantly going on. Your phone won't stop ringing. There's fucking people knocking at your door. You got this going on, that going on. You got to go catch this flight, and oh shit, you got a fight coming up, and oh shit, you got this and that, and sometimes you lose yourself.
Yeah.
You lose yourself in that wave of life.
I definitely lost myself at one point in my life.
Listen, man, it's good to see you smile. It's
Thanks,
good to
Joe.
see you laugh. It's good to see you happy. It's good to see you optimistic about your future. And I think you got a great perspective right now. And I really hope you keep it together, man.
Oh,
I'm
I
a
will.
big fan
I will.
as a person,
Thanks,
as a
Joe.
fighter. I'm glad we did this.
I am too. I am too.
All right, brother.
You be
That's
good.
it, folks. We're done for today. See ya. Bye. John Jones.